or someone cried wolf too many times to their friends. Okay, there's a couple different energies here. The Hanged Man, thank you. A shift in perspective or someone feeling stuck. So someone is having a change in their point of view. Someone is having a difference of opinion. Someone is bringing something into focus for themselves through some sort of extreme meditative process. Someone is becoming enlightened this way, or someone is feeling very stuck. Someone has got themselves caught up in a situation. There's a shift in perspective. That was the first energy to come out. What about this Hanged Man? A sacrifice. Someone trying to sacrifice you. Someone tried to sacrifice you. Someone wanted you tongue-tied. What about this Hanged Man? What does the collective need to know about this Hanged Man? What about this Hanged Man? What does the collective need to know about this Hanged Man? Anything else from this deck? What does the collective need to know about this Hanged Man? What about this Hanged Man? What does the collective need to know about this Hanged Man? What about this? Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guides, anything else for the collective? Anything else from this deck? The Moon. So someone could be suffering from mental illness. Okay, take it as it resonates. Going with the Alice deck. Thank you. Can we have a clarifier for this Hanged Man, please? Clarifier, please. 10 of Wands. So this individual feels burdened, or this is a closing of a cycle. Someone tried to burden you. Someone tried to put their own burdens onto you. This mirroring effect with the 10 of Wands for the Alice deck, it always gives what it looks like and what it actually is, or what someone's intention was and what their rebound looks like, or what someone is trying to say versus what's really going on, or something like that. So it always gives this mirroring. So something about the burden, the individual who feels stuck, they got themselves into that position. This represents the closing of a cycle. Someone could feel stuck at the 10 of Wands, like a constant burden. Okay. Someone could have tried to burden you, and it only resulted in them burdening themselves. It only resulted in a burden that they feel they can't even put down. A burden that never ends, if you will. They feel stuck due to this. But again, they got themselves into the position that they are in. again with this tongue-tied, somebody can't even say anything for themselves because they got themselves where they're at. I keep being given this phrase, well, that's your fault, or well, whose fault is that, or well, you got yourself into this position, or you are where you're at because these are the choices you've made. It's like there's this constant voice. So someone is either telling someone else this, or this is someone's inner voice. 8 of Cups. You walked away from a situation where someone thought they were going to burden you. Perhaps this is the someone who is now burdened. Or this individual wishes to put down a burden and choose better for themselves, but they feel stuck. 7 of Cups. They're stuck in an illusion. They're stuck under an illusion. They feel that they're stuck under someone's spell. They feel that they've been lied to. They feel that they've been manipulated. Join the club, right? Okay. Messages for the collective. The 8 of Swords. The Hanged Man, the 8 of Swords. Someone is facing prison, or someone is stuck in jail, or someone is stuck in a prison of their own making. They're in a mental prison. They're suffering from mental blockages. They can't see their way out of a situation that they've got themselves into. They feel very, very stuck, or someone is taking the fall in the place of someone trying to make you the sacrifice. So they are being sacrificed. That is the energy here. The 8 of Swords. Imprisonment. Again, their intention was to trap you. Their intention was to get you stuck in your head. Their intention was to see you stuck and put away. Their intention was to see you trapped. Or they had you trapped, or they had you imprisoned, or they had you stuck in your head. And so that intention, or that ill will, that wrongful action resulting in damages to you, that is something that is now being mirrored back to them. And again, it is due to their choices, their intent, their will. They were free to make choices to guide their will as they saw fit. And they saw fit to try to imprison you. They saw fit to try to burden you. They saw fit to try to trap you. They saw fit to try to make you stuck in situations, to try to even make you believe a narrative that might have been spun around you. There's a lot of pressure and corruption in this type of energy. Someone who surrounds someone with intention of 10 of Wands, 8 of Swords, the Hanged Man. This is the energy this person is in right now. It is because that is what they did to others. That is the life that they lead. That is the energy they put out there. That is the intent they had for you in particular. And that is the only way to explain the situation they're in now. They might be trying desperately to explain it away, much as they might have done before so many times now. Probably countless times now. But they're unable to explain it away. They are stuck. They're unable to get out of a trap they set for you. They have fallen into themselves. They are unable to put down the burden that they intended on you carrying, that they tried to put on you, that they tried to create a narrative and make you believe it, or they tried to trap you or imprison you, or you did suffer this. Anything else? Anything else? So again, yeah, the 3 of Cups again. They celebrated. So whatever it was that they were able to accomplish in the way of ill intent towards you, whatever it was that they feel they landed. Whatever blows it was that they feel they landed. This group, because it's a group of cups. Again, this individual or this group surrounded you. They wanted you to be this hanged man figure, tongue-tied, not even able to speak for yourself. They wanted you to be straitjacket style, 8 of Swords, trapped, completely tongue-tied. This character's tongue is twisted in such intricate knots. It's like this figure is, you know, this is some ritualistic shit here. Okay? Again, they could have intended to ritualistically sacrifice you. I mean, people who do shit like that, they should not be surprised at where they find themselves, yet somehow they are surprised at where they find themselves. So, I don't know. But again, this group, they celebrated 3 of Cups. They gathered in a group and they celebrated. They had a good time. They clinked glasses and they hee-heed and they tee-heed and they guffawed at your misery. They celebrated while you were suffering. So the intent or the possibility that you suffered, each of the energies represented by these cards, is something that, you know, if it resonates, that was something that they celebrated over. If they were able to make you believe a narrative for a time, they celebrated that. They thought it was a win to live a life like that. If they were able to burden you with things that they themselves tried to shirk accountability or responsibility for, and watched you carry that excess burden and weight, they watched you shoulder things that didn't belong to you, and they celebrated that. They felt good about themselves. They were clinking glasses, watching you struggle, watching you work. They were leisurely celebrating. I'm literally getting a scene of someone sipping champagne or clinking glasses with someone else, and they're just like leisure lifestyle, like they could be on the back of a yacht or something. And then there you are in the background, like scrubbing the floor or something. But it's your yacht, and the champagne they're drinking, it's your champagne. You like literally own the vineyard that the champagne came from. You own that vineyard in the Champagne region of France, and those two clinking glasses thinking they're better than you over there spitting on your name because they think that you're just the lowly wench who's there to service them due to their highfalutin lifestyle. And they've rented out this yacht. They rented it because they can't afford a yacht. They can't own a yacht. They don't know that you own that yacht. They don't know that you own that, right? So there's that. They celebrated. They didn't know. They don't know. They didn't know. They don't know. They're Knight of Wands. They're headstrong and reckless. So they're where they're at, and you know, shoot, the way they were headed there quick, you'd have thought they knew where they were going. They sure talk a big game, right? Thank you. Okay. So that was the treatment of you by these individuals, or by this individual, and that was what you had to deal with. The world, the cycle is closing. This is closure. This represents closure for you. This represents the ending to a cycle that was particularly burdensome, in which individuals celebrated, thinking that they were spending their time wisely. 10 of Swords. So all these cards weren't enough. Of course, the 10 of Swords has to come out too, because what were these people's intent for you? 10 of Swords. They thought they could just kill you off. Once they figured out that that you actually own the yacht that they were clinking glasses on, that they rented out for the hour, because they just were there for the grand photo shoot, They couldn't even afford a whole day's rental fee, by the way, okay? So they were there, all right? And then they figured out you own the boat, okay? So then they were like, oh, well, all we got to do is just take Collective out and we'll be able to have this boat for as long as we want. If they want this boat, they're going to have to come hunt us down for this boat. They went real quick in their celebration mode because they were completely inebriated and under the influence of the devil, evidently, because this is the type of shit that they're into. 10 of Wands, Hanged Man, 8 of Swords. This is the type of shit they're into. 10 of Swords. They're just real quick, jump to it. Oh, all right. Do we take the Collective out, and then all right. Then we can have the yacht for as long as we can have the yacht for, till they hunt us down for it, right? That, literally, that's how smart these people are. So yeah, they were all 10 of Swords with you. They celebrated. And then they 10 of Swords, they celebrated, 10 of Swords. So, again, this was intention for you. They wanted to see you attacked in a manner in which you would not come back from. They wanted to see you down and out. They wanted to see you at rock bottom. They wanted to see you attacked that you wouldn't see coming. Your back was turned. These were cowards, stabbing you in the back, doing things behind your back, speaking about you behind your back, creating narratives. So then, Empress, here you are, Empress. Okay. Thank you. What about this 10 of Swords? What does the collective need to know? Five of Swords. Yeah, because that too. Because they just resort to this. This is how they live. They get it how they live. Yeah. They probably stole the person's identity for which they are even pretending to be the person who booked some sort of rental on this yacht that you own, right? They probably stole the credit card that they're using in order to reserve this 1 hour rental fee on this yacht that they're trying to get photos for desperately to prove to the world, anyone who's willing to look, before the attention whores, for the murder and thief and lying attention whores that they are. This is a very particular energy here. These are the type of people who glamorize this low-life lifestyle. It's not glamorous, but then this lifestyle has been glamorized. So yeah, 5 of Swords. This is what you dealt with these people? These are the people you dealt with? These are the people who came after you? Why did this go on? To steal money from you, to slow money from you, to steal money from you. I was just thinking, there's no pentacles out here. Why did this go on? So that they could slow everything in your life. Because this was the long-term plan. Because the long-term plan was all this other stuff and then eventually just take you out. Page of Wands. A child. This is something you've been dealing with since you were a child. Or this is a child involved in this. They involved a child in this. Or this is an experience. They were banking on your inexperience, on your naivete. They were banking on your willingness to, get excited about an adventure, or they were thinking you were going to get excited. They were thinking that you were a perpetual Page of Wands. Maybe they did this to you in childhood. This is something you've been dealing with since a child. People trying to, create narratives about you and then celebrating when you suffer, when you hurt. This could be something that you've been dealing with since you were a child. Or there's a child involved, or something about this excitement, this youthful sort of, new direction, idea, new idea, new beginning in life. They wanted for you to always be in this inexperience, or they always were banking on your inexperience. They wanted to keep you in page energy as far as your spiritual gifts are concerned. So this could be many things, or there's a child involved. This could be someone else's child. This could be your child. You could be this child. Take it as it resonates. Fire sign child, Page of Wands, Knight of Coins. There could be a teenager or a young adult, earth sign possible, also involved. Or this is the energy of the slowing of finances, the slowing of evidence. This could be tampering with evidence. This could be the long-term plan. That would be the best description for this whole thing. Was this was a long-term plan. They plotted on you. So they plotted on you. Again, closure though. Okay, this is a cycle. This was a season. You're in a different season now. Why did these criminals target the collective? Why the collective? Why was this long-term plan enacted? Why were they targeting the collective? Why was this long-term plan enacted, please? Two of Cups inverted. Because you rejected someone? Because you broke up with someone? Seriously? This is because you broke up with someone? So this is some jilted ex? Or it's because they never learned to love themselves. They're imbalanced. They have an imbalanced relationship with their inner child. They're imbalanced emotionally. They're not a healed individual enough to enter into emotional relationships with others. So they treat others like emotions don't have to be involved in a relationship. Like, it can be about whatever they want it to be, but emotions are not on the table. That would be the best way to look at this. But to clarify why these people targeted you, why all of this down to 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. To clarify, the 2 of Cups comes out, inverted. A breakup? Seriously? Seriously, all this because of a breakup? Because you left someone, or because you rejected someone? There's seriously some jilted ex of yours, or some individual whom you turned down, whom was never even an ex of yours. And this must have been a long time ago, because long-term plan, Knight of Coins. So you turned them down, and they immediately went into psycho, stalker, murder, death, kill, get it how you live energy. I mean, who does that? Who does that? You break up with someone and they immediately go into long-term plan, psycho, stalker, murder, death, kill because you broke up with them? Come on. Weak. The Magician. So this is a manipulator. This person manipulates things. They have a controlling personality. They like to control. They think they can control. This person likes to play God in the lives of others. They like to tamper with forces that they don't understand. This person can't even control themselves. Justice. They're facing justice. They try to manipulate the justice system. The Magician, the Justice. This could be someone who works for the justice system. So, you know, this could be an individual who is using their position in order to implement this long-term plan. So this could be somebody who is, you know, a Libra or someone who works for the justice system. Or this could be someone who has connections in justice system or justice system adjacent, opportunistic type positionings. Someone could have been trying to manipulate or use corruption or corrupted means, corrupted ties, fraud, lying, thieving, criminal network, organized crime within the justice system, people being in on crime within communities or like lawful establishments or Seven of Swords. Yeah, trying to get away with it. Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Justice. Yeah, so these people used systems. They manipulated systems. Okay, so these people could work for the justice system, so that could mean a wide varying array of things. Okay, this could be someone who's, you know, brothers, cousins, dog sitters, mom works in the courtroom as a clerk, and that's their connection, and so they think they can make things happen. Okay, this could be someone who works for the post office. Okay, this could be someone who is a lawyer. This could be someone who is a judge. This could be someone who is a politician. This could be someone who works for the military. This could be someone who is a doctor. This could be someone who works for an agency. This could be someone who is in a position of power and authority. Someone who holds a title, perhaps. Okay. This individual or this group or this entity, the powerful seat in which they sit or the position in which they represent, okay? That person or that position, that entity, whatever, government, body, or system, was used in a corrupted manner, or the individual within the system used the system to their advantage. So the individual either was manipulating the system, and then the system would be none the wiser because they were manipulating the system. So there could be examples such as someone submitting false evidence, or someone falsifying documentation and submitting that to court. Okay, someone bearing false witness and then submitting that, or coming into court bearing false witness or whatever. Okay, testimony, but they're lying. Okay, so those are different ways. Okay, people using loopholes within the system. Okay, people using knowledge of systems structure and loopholes in particular in order to wage war against individuals. Basically, harnessing the justice system to weaponize what should be used to service and protect the community, instead using those ties, that seat, or whatever, in corrupted manners, right? So there could be innocence on the part of the justice system. I'm not just gonna jump and be like everyone involved is trash. No, there could absolutely be people who were just doing their jobs and people who were, taking things at face value, because everything comes out eventually, but a lot can happen in the meantime. And some people never think that it's gonna come out if they do things like falsify documentation or bear false witness. Some people think that kind of stuff is never gonna get found out, but generally it always gets found out. I mean, it's not a good idea, but these individuals went at it so hard. It's like, you have to understand at this point, this energy, you're not the first person that they've done this to. This is organized crime. This is highly organized, okay? For the Two of Cups to come out inverted when I ask for explanation as to why they would target you. So it's obviously some jilted person. This can be like, let's say you have a significant other who has like weird emotional incest going on with a parent of theirs. That parent can take on a level of hatred for you if you decide that you don't want to be with that person anymore. Like, you think their relationship with their mom is weird. Like, let's say you have an ex, you're female and you have an ex who you think they're a little too close to their mom, like, the weird boy mom emotional incest thing, and you're like, yeah, I don't like this at all, so you break it off. You're like, I don't like how involved your mother is in our relationship. I don't like how involved I don't like how your mom's acting. I don't like it, right? And then then this person, your ex, is like, whatever, fine. But the mother, oh no. This person has lost their mind at this point, because you're not gonna disappoint my son. Even though the son really, okay, they're a mama's boy. They have some growing to do, obviously. Okay. And, this woman, this individual, obviously has, something wrong with her if she's over there acting like she's in some sort of relationship with her own child. Like, that's your kid, woman, that's your child. Like, what are you doing? You need to back the fuck off your child. That's weird. You need to go get you a husband or boyfriend or something. You don't need to be all up in your child's business like that. That's weird. Act like, you're some sort of competition, or this could be a boss who felt jaded after you left, a boss who felt some kind of way, a boss because you didn't like the environment, you quit, or you didn't feel comfortable, so you quit, or things didn't work out. This could be an old business partner of yours or something. Old, I keep getting old. That Knight of Pentacles, long-term plan. This person was from a long time ago. This is somebody you know from a long time ago who felt some kind of way because of them. They're the reason they felt that way, but they focused all that onto you. This poor, unfortunate, misguided soul, man, they focused all that onto you. This person who has some sort of emotional incest going on with somebody, that keeps coming out. This person manipulated the justice system This person could have come in claiming all sorts of things about you to the justice system. This could be that individual who came in, you know, with evidence of their own crimes against you, trying to frame you as somebody to the justice system. Like, oh, you think you're gonna leave my son, do you? I'll go into court and prove that you're some sort of, you know, SEX worker. How you like that? Leave my son, will ya? You think you're too good for my son? How about if I frame you as an SEX worker? I go into court and show naked pictures of you to people and call you a whore. This could be the individual who created, through identity thievery and SEXT trafficking you, online profiles, having made money, trying to frame you as an SEX worker. This could be that individual. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Emperor. There could be an emperor who's seeing all of this. I'm getting such fatigue energy from this collective. Whoever it is that is witnessing this foolery, because it is just a ridiculous foolery. This person, from the very beginning, this person who has hung themselves out to dry, this person who has got themselves in a position where they are stuck, they are imprisoned, they are stuck, they are facing prison. They have committed crimes. Worse and worse and worse. And all because they felt some kind of way. I am feeling this great fatigue from this Emperor energy. This could be you, collective. You could be this Emperor. You could be greatly fatigued with dealing with these people. However it resonates for you. Whether this is an ex-romantic partner, whether this is extended family, whether this is your own family, whether it's a combination of all of that, or people who are doing things in corrupted manners, because you start to lose a sense of trust in the systems that are supposed to uphold, you know, that sense of trust. You know, like if you can't trust your court system to uphold the values of truth and honesty and justice, if you can't trust, you know, the members of law enforcement to protect you against criminals, you know, if the trust is shattered and broken, you can't get that back. Once you shatter trust with someone, the trust is gone. You don't get it back. You don't earn it back. It's gone. And I feel that this Emperor is fatigued. I feel that this Emperor, whoever this is, this could be you or this could be someone involved in this case. I keep feeling that it's a case, okay? The justice system is out here. All these swords. Someone trying to build a case on you. Someone trying to use the court in a corrupted manner. Someone perhaps even using this Emperor in a corrupted manner, or perhaps this Emperor, if he's not yourself, this could be your ex who's feeling that they were used by their own parent, or that they allowed the people or the, you know, the feminines in their family, because, you know, masculines can be led astray by more than just mother figures in their life. There are sisters, there are aunts, there are best friends, there are exes of theirs, you know, counselors, whatever. Anybody who has ill intent or anybody who is weak enough to be turned, I mean, it's commonplace, you know. So this Emperor could be someone who's in like a judge position to preside over this case. This Emperor could have had their trust broken. This Emperor could have previously trusted this figure who came into court, because this figure could have presented themselves as upstanding, truthful, pillars of the community type people. I mean, why would they lie? You know, not everybody who is a psycho, crazy stalker might stab you. Better watch out. Not everybody who is that looks like that. Not everybody looks crazy. Some people look perfectly normal. Some people look innocent grandma style. But really, they're psycho, axe wielding, murderous fiends. Really, they're psychos. So, you know, this emperor could be having fatigue. This emperor could have had some trust that was broken, or this is yourself and you're fatigued of this energy. You're tired of this. Empress on the bottom. Thank you so much. Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guides, messages to the collective. What does the collective need to know at this time? Messages for the collective. What does the collective need to know at this time? Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, angels, ancestors, guides, messages for the collective. Thank you. Three of Pentacles inverted. Something's not working. People are gathering together to do something underhanded, or someone finds it not working. Something's not working. There's a group that's not working well together. Someone's not a team player. Something's not working out. There's not any money being made, even though people are showing up to work every day. They're doing something other than work, or there's money being made, there's money being exchanged, or there's something being crafted, or there could be three individuals in a cult who gather together in a church at night. Messages about this Three of Pentacles inverted. What about this Three of Pentacles inverted? What about this? Magician inverted. Okay. A manipulator. A magician who used to be able to work with this group but can no longer work with this group, or whatever this magician headed up as far as a group is concerned. This could be a magician who is inside of this group of three. Okay? This could be someone in a group who would be a manipulator. This could be someone who is bringing down the group. This could be someone who is manipulating a group in order to bring about the downfall of the group. Okay? This could be someone who is using a group to manipulate. This could, again, be someone who fancies themselves some sort of magician, as far as these cards are concerned, at least. Okay, so messages for the collective. What about this? What about this manipulative individual trying to bring down a group, or manipulative individual and a group of manipulative individuals? Eight of Cups. This group might have abandoned this magician, or this magician might have abandoned the group. Somebody could be trying to distance themselves from this group or from this magician. This illusionist. They're not a magician. This could be someone who pretends to be an individual of faith, or a man or a woman of God. This could be someone who, again, under the cloister of the cloth, or under the guise of being religious, or under the dark of night in a holy and sanctified setting such as a church, where members attend and charge this building, this vessel, with energy, and then these individuals come in and use that energy to the detriment of everyone involved. So this nastiness, it seeps out further into the community past these 3 or 4 individuals here. So it's like there are a centered figure, or a central group of figures. There are central individuals here within this dark, nasty nucleus, but then there are surrounding or orbiting or community members who are being infected by this rot, by this darkness, by this nastiness. Okay? The Hierophant, yeah. Pretending to be people of faith, pretending to be God-fearing individuals when they're obviously not. Messages about this. What about this? What about this illusionist or this devil worshiper? Eight of Wands. Travel. This group could be traveling, or something about messages, or someone trying to do something quickly. They could be experiencing serious energetic repercussions due to the nastiness that they've been putting out. There could be messages going back and forth between members of the group or members within the community. These individuals could be sending out mass messages trying to figure out who they can latch on to, because the downward spiral is becoming ever more constricting. Eight of Wands, something about travel. Page of Pentacles, someone's trying to travel because there's evidence coming out. What about this? Anything else from this deck? Anything else from this deck? Messages? This started out, it hit the ground running, you guys. This is a serious, thank you. This is a serious negative energy, or someone who thinks that they're going to be able to do things in underhanded or manipulative ways. Or those of you who will have decided to walk away, like the Eight of Cups we saw earlier, from individuals who were being manipulative. Individuals who were trying to cast illusions over things that you didn't want any part in. This Three of Pentacles upside down, they were doing immoral things. They were doing things underhanded. They were fine with smoke and mirrors. They were fine with a type of lifestyle that was something underhanded or something of an illusion, right? So then, Justice. Okay, but these individuals are facing justice. Three of Cups. Your ancestors are celebrating. Eight of Pentacles here. Eight of Pentacles on the bottom. Okay, thank you. Messages for the collective, please. What does the collective need to know about this? Can we have a clarifier, actually? Can we have a clarifier for this Magician inverted, please? Can we have a clarifier for the Magician inverted? Something the collective will be able to use to help identify someone in their story as this Magician inverted. Something that will help the collective to identify. Something that will help the collective clarify who this Magician inverted is for their story, if it resonates at all. Besides them being an illusionist or a manipulator. Besides, can we have a clarifier for this Magician inverted, please? This one? Okay. The Sun. This could be an Aries, or this could be your parent. This could be someone you thought was a divine masculine. This could be your ex, someone you might have referred to as, you know, like your son or your world or something like that. someone you might have thought of as your divine masculine, someone you might have thought of as your soul partner, or the moon, and then they're your sun, right? So something like that. That would help you to identify this individual, or if this is an Aries, that will help you identify this individual. Anything else for this magician? No? Page of Pentacles again. Some evidence. Okay. Or a child. You guys could have had a child together, or something about a child. Can we have a clarifier for the Three of Pentacles inverted? Can we have a clarifier, please, for the Three of Pentacles inverted? Something to help collective identify. Thank you. The Five of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So they were working together in a group to see you put into poverty. So this individual used a group, or this individual involved in a group. So this could be like a gang, or this could be someone who involved individuals who, you know, behave as if they are in some sort of organized crime, because they wanted to see you in poverty. They wanted to see you exposed to the elements, okay? If we're not going as far as that storyline for, you know, the less sensationalized storylines, if those resonate with you. This Five of Pentacles, this could be, again, faith related or community related. The way that your community, your family, or your second or third places treated you. So the way that your family, your work, your community, your church group, your friends, the way that you were treated by those who were surrounding you. That they worked together, so, you know, they purposefully did things, and there's evidence towards that. They purposefully did things in order to see you in poverty or keep you in poverty. So they would have wanted to see you exposed to the elements here, right? They wanted to see you with, you know, unsecured housing. They wanted to see you with food insecurity. They wanted to see you without enough money to provide for yourself. They wanted to see you in a state of poverty. This also could be an individual who tried to use a group in order to make you sick. So this could be the Pentacles in reference to your physical health or your spiritual well-being. So these could be particularly spiritual attacks aimed towards your physical person. So this could be attacks that would have left bruises if you had been attacked by a group or something like that, if we're talking about an assault, or a series of assaults, or a series of physical abuse, or something like that. Again, this could be stemming from a parent or a father figure, or an Aries, or someone who would be described as the head of a group who are up to nefarious things, or someone at the head of a group who would be casting illusions and trying to manipulate things in the environment, or someone who has control issues, someone who likes to play God. All right, so then they would have been doing things in order to see you in these low states. They wanted to see you in this low state. They wanted to see you sick. They wanted to see you diseased. They wanted to see you homeless. They wanted to see you desperate, probably so that you would make desperate decisions. They wanted to put you in desperate situations so that they could watch you make decisions out of desperation. They wanted for you to not have the basic foundational securities in life: food, housing, safety. So these could be people that were members of your church. These could be family members, also members of your church. These could be other members of community outside of church or religious or spiritual people. This could be neighbors. This could be business associates. These could be friends. These could be school buddies, people at work, whatever the safety or shelter and the community within those structures represented for you. People worked together in order to put you into the Five of Pentacles or to keep you at the Five of Pentacles. So that's what's important for this. Okay, thank you. Can we have a clarifier for the Eight of Wands, please? What about this travel? What does the collective need to know about this travel? Or something, they were trying to make something happen quickly? Or there's messages about this? Or downloads, maybe? I don't know. Let's get a clarifier, please. Can we have a clarifier? Can we have a clarifier, please, for this Eight of Wands? What is this Eight of Wands about? Can we have a clarifier for the Eight of Wands, please? Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guides, angels. Clarifier for the Eight of Wands, please. Are we doing this one? This one? Okay, thank you. Mini deck. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords energy on the bottom. Ultimate betrayal. So they're turning on each other now. But what is this Eight of Wands? What is this Eight of Wands? What does the collective need to know about this Six of Wands? Traveling to win. Messages about this, their public reputation or how they're seen publicly. Messages or this travel is public. This travel is, it represents something public. They're seen publicly, traveling, moving around. They're seen publicly, like they're like let's say someone, you know, is trying to come up with an alibi for something, and then they're caught on camera somewhere else, so their alibi is proven to be false or something, right? Or it's something like that. That's what I'm being given, this idea of someone being seen publicly somewhere or traveling. So not quite clear. I don't quite. Can we have another clarifier, please? What about this public travel? The tower. Okay, yeah. Their public reputation is quickly declining. That's what I was getting. That was the exact phrase that I was given as soon as this popped out, the tower. Their public reputation is quickly declining. Okay, so individuals who work together in groups, or individuals who were involved with this manipulator or this control freak or this devil worshipping group, these individuals or this individual, people are distancing themselves from this group or from this person. So it is happening to the group, and it is also happening on an individual level. People are distancing themselves from people on individual levels. So people must be getting caught up for things in crazy ways, for people to be having like, because what I'm being given is someone who is involved in a group, and the group was doing heinous things, and the group has been found out. Okay, well, more specifically, someone in the group who was involved in doing the heinous things that the whole group was doing, someone in the group got caught for what it is that they were doing. They got caught. And then the whole group was exposed for doing what that person got caught for, because the whole group does it. And they were tied to the group. They were tied through probably finances or community ties or something. So they might have been seen together publicly and tied that way. They might have traveled to each other or traveled with each other. They might have been seen that way. Or they might have worked together in the environment and made money together, so there's a paper trail. Or there's documents being filed, people's names, where they were at, where they were seen publicly and stuff like that. That sort of stuff coming out and being exposed. So the group was exposed, the person was exposed who got caught up for something, right? And then the group that person was attached to got exposed. So then the group, the same thing that happened to the individual who got caught at first, is happening individually to everybody else in the group now, because everyone in the group has been exposed on an individual level for what they are guilty for. And so people in those people's lives, it's a chain reaction. Those people's husbands, those people's wives, those people's neighbors and friends and family and, work associates, people who aren't involved in this stuff they do. People who are regular, everyday, innocent, good people who just happen to know these people or just happen to be related to this person or whatever it is, Those people are distancing themselves. Those people are pulling away as things are coming to light, as evidence is coming forward, as individuals are speaking. People are also waking up to things. A lot of times when someone is exposed for being some sort of, like let's say someone is exposed for being some sort of predator in a community, right? A lot of times you'll see through neighbor interviews or friends and family interviews or whatever, they'll say well, they didn't expect it, but then if they sit there and think about it long enough, they'll be like, well, there was that one time when they said that one thing and I thought that was weird, but I just dismissed it as, they were joking, or they're just odd, or they just say odd things, or, it was a joke or whatever, right? But no, they weren't joking. Really, they're a fucking predator. And then when they get caught up for being a predator, then little stories like that come out. So yeah, someone whose public reputation was at stake, someone whose position in the community was at stake, someone who was abusing their position of authority and power, someone who was doing negative things, but trying to pretend like they were somebody else, like a pillar of the community, right? So that person's public reputation is declining, or that person's public reputation is taking a fall. The tower is falling. Their public reputation was a facade. It wasn't real. So yeah, this person's, the fall is going to happen publicly. Like, you will witness their fall. That's what I'm being given the phrase right now. You will witness their fall, collective. You will witness their fall. 10 of Swords on the bottom here. You will witness their fall. Let me make sure I didn't this back here. Thank you. All right. So the message is about this event that transpired that you went through, so that you know what it is we're talking about here. If it resonates, if it doesn't resonate, entertainment purposes only, all the time, whatever. Okay, so messages for the collective. What does the collective need to know about this? What now? What now? What does the collective need to know about this? The tower is happening. You will see their fall. It might be something that, you know, you witness on a personal level. It might be something that you hear tell about. I don't know. Page of Swords. You might hear tell about. You might get a message, or someone might try to reach out with a message or communication. Page of Swords. What about this? What about this? Wheel of Fortune inverted. Their time is up. They've been exposed. Their time is up. Fate does not turn in their favor. Their time is up. You will witness their fall. The falls are happening. Did you see the force of that? You guys, did you see the force of that? Ace of Pentacles. Oh, it's not inverted? Okay. Ace of Pentacles in the upright. You will witness their fall. This is a gift given to you by the Most High through the material world. You will be showered with abundance. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so your gifts are manifest here. All right, their time is up. The wheel does not turn in their favor. You're blessed spiritually, okay? You could be unlocking new gifts here in the material. Things could be unfolding in such a way that is very lucrative for you. You could be soon to be receiving a message about you know, a great job offer or something. You could be maybe winning the lottery, or you could be finding out about some money that was shuffled away, or something is just making itself available, or just making itself known to you. You need to know. Yeah. 5 of Wands, a fight. Chaos. Knight of Wands inverted. Angry. Someone's angry. There's a little angry man. A fight. There's a little angry man wants to come in and fight. I'm getting like this little wanna fight? It's like a little tiny, look at Yosemite Sam, little guy. He's a little rootin' tootin'. Little rootin' tootin' guy. Okay. Alright. There's some little angry person coming in and trying to start a fire. There's some little angry person, or there's some angry energy making its way through some chaotic group. There's a lot of immaturity. This person is immature. King of Swords. Immature, King of Swords. Okay. King of Swords. You could be this King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Chariot. Okay. I'm getting Lawman from King of Swords and the Chariot. King of Swords and Chariots give me Lawman. The law. The law. Someone got caught up by the law. Some chaotic group got caught up by the law, or some chaotic group was being used. Their vessels were being used. Gave over their vessels, their precious gift. They gave over to these devils so they could fucking drive it like they stole it, like I was saying before. So there's law. The law is involved now. 8 of Cups. You walked away from these people. You walked away from this group. You walked away from this church. You walked away from this family. You walked away from this community or this job. You walked away from this illusion, this deceit, this whatever this is. You walked away from it. Everybody was trying to make you believe that, you know, you needed to have some emotional tie, and you realized the only emotional tie that was necessary was your own to God. That's it, you know. Anything else, it doesn't matter if you don't feel safe. 8 of Swords, they're going to prison. Yo, King of Swords, yeah, 3 of Wands. This is what their future looks like. They tried to see into your future and they saw red and blue lights. But they didn't know that they were only looking in their rear view mirror on their own life from behind, because they were digging their hole. And when you dig a hole in life, it brings you right back to the beginning. So there you are, back to the future. They saw red and blue lights. They thought, oh, it's the collectives. They got real excited, but it was their own. It's their own imprisonment. They tried to see into your future. This is what their future looks like. They saw their own future. I get that energy a lot. 8 of Swords. Prison. Mental entrapment. Stuck. A trap. They tried to trap you. This whole thing. It only leads to their own imprisonment. And you will see their fall. You'll see it. Because when I asked about this chaotic group that's, you know, got some angry person thinking they're a leader, but they're not leading anything because they're so immature. They're just a little angry man. They're just Yosemite Sam coming in ready to fight. When I ask about what that's about, then King of Swords Chariot pops out. That's the lawman. The lawman comes for thee. And then it's that's what their future looks like. That's what's happening to them now. That's what they looked at back then, which is their future right now. Back then, they thought, you know, 8 years ago maybe. Back then, they tried to see into the future. What was going to happen? What was going to happen? What's going to happen 8 years from now? Red and blue lights. Red and blue, red and blue. Oh. But it was their own. Exposure. You will see it publicly. The fall. Till next time. Bye, guys.